Hi, it's Richard here from Intelligent Advisor IT Consulting with another in our long-running series about the example projects. This time out we're looking at the parts decision service, which is listed as being related to asset-based service, and it's all about washing machine parts. As normal, you can right-click the link here in the online documentation and download the JSON file, but unlike most of these examples, it also comes with a custom Oracle Policy Modeling project for you to test it out in real-life conditions. The basic principle is this project is going to showcase two decision service functions. It's going to showcase the filter function to filter a list of parts, and it's going to showcase the concatenate function, which is going to take members of a list and is going to create a concatenated string from those members. So let's go ahead and open up the example OPM project, which is also provided in the online help. And we'll need to make sure, of course, that our decision service is at the very least committed and saved, or in my case, I'm going to import it first of all from the JSON file provided. You'll notice that as input it takes a list of parts, and as output it has some strings, and you can see the concatenate function is there and the filter function is there. We'll come to those in just a minute. So I'm going to import this decision service into the Intelligent Advisor Hub and make sure that I've saved it, or committed it rather, or deployed it. Doesn't really matter which. For my demonstration, that's all I need. Other than that, you will see there is not much in this project. Let's go ahead and import. There's the project. I'll just verify that we have the inputs and outputs, and I'll commit a first version, but I'm also going to rename it so that I can easily find it later. There we go. And the output is a couple of strings, and the input is a bunch of parts. So the filter function is used twice, first to create the list of the parts required, and secondly to create the list of missing parts, and both of them filter the inputs being the complete list of parts. So if you have 10 parts, perhaps one of them is out of stock, so that becomes a missing part, and the other 9 might be those that are not out of stock, that sort of thing. So you can see here in live mode, if I play around with a list of parts, I am going to create 2 parts. This is the second one, the door handle. Now if you look at the filter function, it says there are 2 records. Both of them I've said are required and are in stock, and I'm going to play with the in stock flag to see that when things are not in stock, they will need to be ordered in, and they become members of the missing parts, if you will. So now I'm going to go over to the Oracle Policy Modeling project, which was also provided, and see that this is really just a way for the user to create a list of washing machine parts. So instead of me typing it in live mode, this is going to infer a set of entity instances which represents my washing machine parts. I'm going to verify that the reference in OPM points to my project, and since I renamed the decision service, I want to make sure that it points to the right thing. And you'll notice that it hooks up with the instances of an entity in the OPM project, so that's the input, and the output is, well, a couple of strings. So I'm going to inspect the washing machine, and I'm going to say which parts are required. So you can see the connection between this and the reference we saw earlier. And you can see that it's basically just a set of parts, and you could of course modify that by adding new parts. Let's go ahead and say I need this one and this one. Don't need that. Don't need that. Yes, I need that. Yes, I need that. Yes, that, but don't need that, and don't need that either. So there are the parts required for the repair. And we'll see that some of the parts are required for the repair, and some of them are not in stock. So you'll see that the concatenation has created the string. The order now feature, which you might like the look of, we're going to see in just a moment. But let's take a look at the Word document that is responsible for creating the order now link, or rather displaying the order now link. So the order now link is showing if the required part is out of stock. So we know that the out of stock flag comes from our entity model. So when we look at the parts list, you can see that this is a link which will display all the time, but it will be hidden when the part is not out of stock. And don't forget that in real life, it's unlikely just to be a static URL like this. You may need to use substitution to pass the part number perhaps to another system or to another website. So this is all about filtering a list of records and then concatenating the product names to create a string. So all the parts required, all the parts out of stock, both use the filter function, and then the list of parts required and the list of parts that will need to be ordered in both use the concatenate function. The concatenate function simply requires the name of an object list, then the name of a field, and the separator. In my case, you can see it is the comma. So that's our quick walk around the parts and its corresponding OPM project. I hope you enjoyed it. See you again soon.